Oh, hello. This is not what you expected to see. Me, at the beginning of this video, at the beginning of Burley Boy Summer Vacation, interrupting you from being able to enjoy that Solani goodness. I'll be quick. A little bit of a public service announcement from Patrick. In this video, there was a little bit of, we got our wires crossed. So there are several moments where we are saying things that are just blatantly wrong that we did not intend for. So in this video, what you will see is we reference that we are reviewing the old Solani Aged Burley Flake from pre-2022. Now, we said in this video that had some cocoa flavoring. That was incorrect. It is uniquely pressed and there is no sugar added. Now also we make the statement that the new version, they pulled back on the cocoa and put in cinnamon. That is also correct. As of 2022, the new Solani Aged Burley Flake has licorice with hints of cocoa in for the flavoring. So those are two little things where we kind of were talking around the same things, but we just had our details a little bit wrong. But regardless, our opinion still stands. This is a review of the pre-2022, and that everything that we say about it still holds true. So I wanted to go ahead and talk to y'all and make sure you understood that before we get into the video. But without further ado, here is the first entry of Burley Boy Summer Vacation, Solani Aged Burley Flake.
Welcome back to PipeCast and Burley Boy Summer Vacation. In this episode, we have a special pillar, Solani Aged Burley. Let's take a look at that tobacco.
Alrighty, here is Solani Aged Burley Flake, blend number 656. Now this is a straight burley blend. As you can tell, it's very dark. This is how the flake comes, and then this is some of it rubbed out here. Now this is the original blend. The blend had been revised as of 2022. So this is how prior to 2022 Solani looks. But yes, very dark. There are parts that are bright. Now this is Solani uses a unique toasting process, so some of this color variation is probably due to that toasting. But it is 100% burley, and with some type of flavoring present. So let's go over there and see how it smokes. Alright, that was Solani. This is the first blend in our Burley Boy Summer Vacation. As you can tell, we're ready. We're rocking and rolling. We got a pool over here, kiddie pool we're going to play in. So we're going to kick it off. Jeez, see, you can tell it's summer vacation. We get hit by bugs. But this is Solani, the OG, the high watermark for Burley.
This is OB too. We're doing the OB blend.
Yeah, so that was one thing I didn't know. We talked about that a little bit. What was it again? So they've changed it.
They've changed the blend since 2022, and they pulled back on the cocoa flavoring, and apparently they pressed maybe some sort of cinnamon flavoring or something forward, or something a little bit less cocoa forward. So we're actually reviewing a 10. We're reviewing a 10 pre-2022. Which means that it's going to be the original blend, the cocoa forward blend, and it's the one I'm most familiar with. I just recently found out that they had changed it within a year,
and we haven't had the new one, have we? You haven't? I know I haven't.
I haven't been able. I've had a bunch of 10s, so I just smoked them.
Yeah,
and they're all pre-2022. I haven't bought Solani, I guess, in a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Which now I should probably be looking out for it.
Well, I'm curious, a lot of times, we've talked about this before, how blends will change to try to maintain consistency in the flavor. I'm wondering if that's what that was all about.
Yeah, but you would everyone knows that it's been changed, and they know they pulled back on the cocoa flavoring.
Oh, well then I guess, so that's what I'm saying. Is this a different?
They've changed up the blending technique, apparently.
But yeah, but is it on purpose to be a different flavor? Or was it in an effort to maintain the old flavor? I guess is what I'm getting at.
Well, if everyone's so aware of it, I'm assuming Solani put out a little "we changed it" memorandum or something.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm not questioning the markets, the marketing and the transparency of them. I'm just saying, I wonder if that was just an effort to, because their crops came in differently. You know, they got different crops, and maybe the flavoring for some reason stopped being as good as it was 10 years ago. This was an effort to get it back to get it more consistent. Something to do with the crops, or is this just they wanted to try something different?
I don't know. I wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. This is kind of like a new Coke phenomenon for me. Like, you know, of course, there's a conspiracy theory behind New Coke anyway. So
What's that?
Well,
they changed it, and they changed the OG at the same time, so you didn't notice it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So originally, Coke was made with cane sugar.
Yeah.
But corn sugar or high fructose corn syrup is cheaper.
Yeah.
So what they did was they introduced New Coke, took original Coke or Coke Classic off the market, let everyone drink New Coke, and then everyone hated it. So then they introduced original or Coke Classic back with the new syrup, which would have changed the flavor. But if they would have just done the recipe swap right there, everyone would have noticed. Apparently it saved them a ton of money, and no one was the wiser due to New Coke. So this is I said a phenomenon. They're not gonna, unless they just bring back OG Solani with a couple of elements changed in it. But they didn't even do that. They're just like, this is Solani, the same thing you've always loved.
Yeah, they didn't change the name. They didn't change nothing. Like most Solanis have like a blend number on them. Now I haven't looked to see if they changed that blend number, but
well, either way, we're still doing the original blend.
Maybe next Burley Boy Summer we'll obtain a 10 of the newer one. But yeah, this is to chase that rabbit. I guess we went a little bit long there. This is the original. I don't remember when I first had this, but I know you were highly recommended it, and I've loved it from the beginning. It's always given me a bready thing, which is typical of Virginia's. Of course, this is Burley, but it's almost like a pumpernickel kind of bread. It's kind of what it gives me. It's that darker, more rich bread flavor or fragrance that I get from Solani, it's incredible. I always hold it in the same regard with Full Virginia Flake. I think they're kind of sister. Even though completely different companies, completely different types, but they're kind of like spiritual sisters to me. Like Full Virginia is the epitome of Virginia. Solani Aged Burley is the epitome of Burley. And I'd love to. I may do that next time I get some. I'd love to take both. I mean, it's hard. They're already both in flake, so maybe you'd rub them out and then compress them. But I'd love to combine the two and make my own homemade Weber with those two.
Okay,
That's kind of why I liked Paradoxical so much, is because it reminded me of what that probably would be like. It would be like Full Virginia, and because of the same things that I get from Full Virginia, the same things I get from Burley are really present in Paradoxical. So I just assume that's what it would be. But I'd like to test it and see for real. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say. Kind of like in our Full Virginia Flake video, there's not a lot to say about Aged Burley Flakes from Solani, other than, I mean, it's the king of Burley for a reason. Now, I mean, it's the king of Burley. Let's set Tobacco Vanilla aside, because that's just its own kind of special thing, Set that aside. This is the king of Burley.
Well, like I mentioned before, it's like Tobacco Vanilla or La Bramuse and La Petite Robin and anything that is Sambois is so different that you really can't really consider it Burley.
Yeah.
It's like just different. Alternate dimension Burley, I think, is what I've heard it called, and that really does live up to it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But it can't be compared to just what most people are used to in a traditional Burley.
Yeah.
Solani Aged Burley, I guess this is kind of a pillar, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is a defined really defined, perfect blend. At least the original blend is. I haven't had the new blend, but like it's sweet, subtle, a lot of nuance, good chocolate or cocoa flavoring in it, with a light brown sugar kind of aftertaste. I mean, I can't really speak more highly of it because it's just so good.
Yeah.
The flakes themselves are really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The only kind of criticism I have is that it really should be more. I mean, they should offer up. I think it's a 50 gram tin,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like to see, a 200 gram tin,
Yeah.
because you don't have a lot of opportunity, or I don't, because I like it so much. I don't age any of this stuff. I don't put it up knowing that I have like a ready stock, because I end up smoking it all.
Yeah.
I think I got 110, like I said, but I mean, like, that's because once we get into PipeCast more frequently, I have to set aside like a lot of rotational stuff and I have to focus on the things that we're smoking for the show.
Yeah.
So, but when I'm not in show mode, Solani ends up getting smoked pretty doggedly.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say the same. I think I bought 2 tins in January of 21,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm almost through both of them. So, and that's pretty rare for me. I don't smoke stuff that fast, but yeah. I mean, I think yeah, everything you said is spot on. But also though, talking about like pure Samois is so different that it's almost not burley. So, Perique is basically burley, a type of burley, or it started out as burley. Dark Fired Kentucky was burley.
Right. And most of the American aromatics are burley too.
Yeah. So, as much as I think, in my head, Virginia is the epitome of tobacco. It's what's in the most. It's the base for a lot of things. But it seems like burley is kind of up there too, fighting with it to be, the standard tobacco.
I think the curse of the American smoker is that you have to one day confront burley, like in a realistic way. Most people like Virginia Perique.
Yeah.
They like a lot of Englishes.
Yeah.
As you start out with burley, and then you're like, that's a not great blend. And I think that's kind of Cornell and Deal's fault.
Oh, okay.
And then as you start to escalate your trajectory through tobacco,
Yeah.
you hit, your Englishes, your Balkans, your Virginias, your Vapors, Vapors, then Vapors, and then you're like, what is this Vapor doing?
Yeah.
And then you go to like,
Solani.
Solani, and then you're like, oh, I guess I've been lied to, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
So this is also a great example of like being competent in your blending, where you know exactly what needs to go with the tobacco, and in this case, it's that cacao or cocoa chocolatey flavoring with that little bit of brown sugar, and then like you said, that kind of has that breadiness too, and it just sort of subtly oscillates between the two, and then by the time you're trying to figure out, well, which is it this kind of like more wheat burley kind of bready thing, or is it this more chocolate thing, the bowl's over, and then you can start the cycle all over again. But you'll be chasing the flavor, but they're really good.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good stuff. I think I'm really interested now that we've found out that there is another version or a newer version. I'm interested to try, because I mean, we've talked before, those type of flavors, chocolate, cinnamon, coffee, all those, like, they lend themselves to being to elevating the natural tobacco flavors without becoming aromatic.
Right.
And so, while I don't like the fact that Solani has changed, I'm still interested to see what it has changed to. If they had said, they took out the cocoa and they added in cherry, I'd be like, I don't even need to try it, But because they added cinnamon, I'm kind of intrigued a little bit.
Well, it's a competent brand.
Yeah.
So I doubt very seriously they're going to ruin something.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Is it Scandinavian Tobacco Group that blends this? Or is it Coalhouse and Cup?
I wanted to say it was Coalhouse and Cup.
Either
but
way, I mean, those two houses are good, but I'm saying the brand itself is not going to change up so much that they're going to destroy themselves. I've been wrong before, but it's also sold out everywhere. So I feel like
the new one is?
yeah, you can't find it anywhere. I got like all kinds of things opened up right now, being like, notify me. So
I didn't know it was like that. That's crazy too, because like I said, I think I bought 210s in 21.
mm-hmm.
So I wasn't even paying attention.
I'm notified all across the board on things that I need, that I smoke regularly. So, 1792 Flake, I'm almost out of. Bob's Chocolate again.
Oh no.
And Solani. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, I purchase as I go sometimes, but those three seem to be very popular these days.
Wow. Well, this is, like I said, anytime you sit down with the OG Solani, it's going to be a good time. So I think this is a good one to start off the Burley Boy summer vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is going to be dropping on a Monday and come back the rest of the week.
Yeah,
tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. We're going to have tons of Burley treasures for you. So we'll see you then.